Welcome to Waiver Watch episode 22 on April 12th, 2020. We are 107 Waivers, and each week we bring to you some of the most interesting waivers granted by the FAA in the weeks prior. And this week, although it is a slow week, we do have a few exciting waivers to cover. As always, our agenda for today, weekly waiver totals brought to you by Jakey. Then jump into the discussions. We have a BVLOS waiver that we're going to cover. And we also have a altitude waiver. So, Jakey, without further ado, hit us with the waiver totals.
All right. So, we had 33 waivers approved. Pretty good considering the circumstances here.
Let me interrupt you. How are you feeling? Are you feeling good?
I'm feeling good. We're making it through this. Haven't come down with it yet.
We want to make sure that everyone else out there is doing well too. Stay healthy. You know what? Since the totals are so low, I just wanted to interrupt you.
Well, thank you.
It seems like people's health are probably more important than waivers right now.
Yeah, it's a holiday weekend too, so.
Yes. So anyway, sorry for the rude interruption. Yeah. Waiver totals, 33. Go.
All right. So we had 27 night waivers. We had 4 operations over human beings waivers, all pair 0. We had 1 10751 Bravo, it's high altitude waiver, and we had 1 COVID-19 special edition BVLOS waiver, which we're going to talk about here.
Interesting. That is very interesting.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
So
speaking of, I was going to say, speaking of Para Zero, we received some gifts from Para Zero.
We're going to talk about that. All right.
So we're going to have to check out what's inside those boxes. Maybe you'll be able to see what's on that box, but we're not going to tell you. But there's something good in there. It's not a parachute. So look in the coming weeks.
It is a parachute's favorite companion.
Yes.
Well,
you probably will be able to guess what that is.
Maybe other than the drone.
Or worst companion. One of the two. Depends on which way you're looking at it.
Yeah.
So this COVID-19 BVLOS waiver. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Who is the company that has it?
Scroll down here. All right. So this is Airobotics.
Drone in a box.
I was texting Brent earlier about this, and I misspelled it twice. This is not aerobatics, like flipping through the air, or aerobotics, A-E-R-O. This is air, A-I-R, robotics. So only took me 3 tries, but
third time is the charm.
Yeah. So this one is like eerily similar to a waiver 3 weeks ago we had talked about with Florida Power and Light and Percepto. And so we have a Israeli-based drone-in-a-box company called Airobotics. Another like nice-looking system. Got a really cool like industrial-looking box that this thing comes out of, and the drone's got a nice form factor to it and all that. So they received a waiver to 10731 and 33 Bravo and Charlie 2. So those are the standard BVLOS waiver provisions that you always get. And what's interesting about this is it directly mentions COVID-19 on the first page. So this thing is effective until June 30th, 2020, or when the federal, state, and local COVID-19 kind of guidelines like end. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
So it's like this one got pushed through probably quickly. Let's see what is the waiver number?
Like 1564.
15. Yeah. So it's not super new. It's not super old either. But yeah, so they definitely got some special considerations for COVID-19 operations. So whether it's, maybe they're working with a police department too. Typically I would envision this system in a mine or a cornfield or something like that. But maybe they're doing just some public operations, But then, I have to think about ops over people. There's no parachute for that.
Yeah, I think like the security is a pretty good one right now because, if you think about like security guards maybe doing a perimeter and you want to try and reduce those people out there or at work. So instead of sending somebody out, just send the drone to do a perimeter. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different use cases where you just want to get people out of going to work and, you know, mingling and all that, keep them at home. So use drones.
Right. Yeah. So they are declassifying, or not declassifying, but they are controlling the airspace out to 2 miles, right? And they're identifying any manned aircraft that are coming into that airspace. And there's some provisions there that they have to avoid all aircraft. That's like directly called out in there. I can't remember which provision it is specifically.
Yeah.
But let's talk a little bit about some of those provisions that are in there. One of the things was the training. Did you see the one about the training maneuvers, air traffic avoidance procedures?
Yeah. Right.
So they have some. It's just not like 107. You can fly, and you don't really have any extra training on top of it. They do have a list for provision 15 on what they need to be trained to. So interesting there. It's SUAS limitations, programming. So I'm assuming programming the missions from the GCS, operational procedures, abnormal procedures, air traffic avoidance, crew resource management, flight training, and demonstration of SUAS ground and flight skills. So they have some sort of official training document that got approved for provision 15.
Yeah, I thought the, I was thinking about drone in a box more, and it seems like maybe 2020 is the year of drone in a box. But anyways, pre-flight inspections. This one kind of just stop and think for a minute. So like 107 requires you to do pre-flight, which I think is like 107.49. Hopefully I got that right. But I think the understanding is that you do a physical like inspection, check all the motors and the arms and everything for airworthiness. And so if you're doing drone in a box operations where the intent is to just leave this thing out there and do 100 flights, 200,000 flights, whatever, before a person ever interacts with it, I wonder what the FAA is thinking about pre-flight inspection, because it's not waived. It's not even a waiverable thing. So is the FAA making these guys go out there and still open the box every time and pre-flight this thing before it takes off? It just got me thinking
a really
about
good
that.
Point. Yeah, because this is like, just like Percepto is like a clamshell opened up. This is like the doors like open up.
Yep.
So what do you got to do? Like go up there with a pry bar, open it up, take a peek inside, and then let it go.
Yeah, that's just a funny, I'll say, like, casualty of drone in a boxes and the regulations, and just I don't even know if people are like thinking about that, but I'm pretty sure if I read the regulation just to the law, you have to physically inspect that thing. So
interesting.
We'll see where that goes, I guess, but just a weird
Absolutely. So there was also another provision that's common for these, but it's provision number 19, and we've been talking about drone delivery lately, so I just figured this one kind of rang a little bit of bell to me. So so no SUAS flight that occurs under this waiver may carry the property of another for compensation or hire. And this probably has to go with the fact that they don't want this to be used for drone delivery in any shape or form. Don't be dropping packages or whatever, since they technically can fly farther than they can see.
Yep. Because remember, BVLOS is not waiverable for package delivery. That is in the regulations. So.
And then they double stamp it with provision 19.
Just to make sure. Leave no
in case
doubt.
you found another loophole, we will just squash it right here with that. So.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, so interesting waiver there. Go check out our blog post. We do have a video of the device working and everything. It looks really cool, like Jakey was saying.
And do you
have anything else to add?
Well, and a little graphic. I was going to say just about this concept of seeing 2 miles, but not necessarily seeing manned aircraft. So, just another graphic.
To deconflict the airspace.
Yep.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for. I said declassified earlier. I meant deconflict. I was like, so I'm thinking about top secret stuff, and that's
maybe these days.
Yeah. So
top secret. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Transitioning to the next waiver. Also, I want to draw. We were doing some digging before this, and so we were just talking about Airobotic. And Jakey, how is there a loose connection to Airobotics and this next waiver?
Oh, yeah. Well, the responsible person used to work for them for a little bit. So we were talking about this earlier too. Like the small U.S. industry is pretty small, no pun intended. It is pretty tight, and especially with the Israelis, seems like those guys all know each other. So Para0, Airobotics CEO and founder was the Para0 CEO CEO-founder. They've probably all worked at Elbit. It's just very tight-knit group there. Kind of funny.
You got Flytrex, a company that I've been spending a lot of time with. So
Startup Nation, I think they're called, right? So
that's right. There's actually a book out there. I have it downloaded. I read about 3/4 of it. It's very interesting. So anyways, so he was there's
Levi.
Levi was head of flight operations. Now he is a flight test operations person, according to his LinkedIn profile, for Amazon. So we got our heads scratching here a little bit. So there's Levi, and then there's this other gentleman named Randy, and he is the CEO of Equinox Innovative Systems. And this is probably the technology that they're using for this waiver, which is a high altitude waiver.
Yeah. Before you go too far, I want to set the stage a little bit better here. So I totally just dismissed this waiver. It's look at it.
That's right.
It's totally standard. It's just issued to some guys. There's not even a company name there. You look at the only thing that's really different is the location. So you look at that. It's like a horse stable in Maryland.
Yeah.
So it's why are horse stables flying high? Whatever. But Brent here is Detective Brent. So there. So it totally dismissed this, but it's actually pretty cool. So
what made us dig in too deeper was just hitting up LinkedIn. We found out the company that Randy worked for or owns, and then we started scratching our head a little bit more because they have a tethered wireless device system. So it's almost like it looks like like you'd have a cell on wheels that would be on a trailer that, during natural disasters or whatever, you pull this behind a semi truck, drop it, and then you have cell service when a tower gets knocked down. Well, taking that concept and they're putting some cell infrastructure into the air. So I could see multiple applications for this right away. Say you're doing new planning and you're going to erect a tower and put a new cell on it. It's always good to see what is it like up there? What kind of signal are we getting? How much noise is up here? Where can I point this? All that stuff. So I've actually heard of other people come up with this idea before, hey, can we just fly a drone up there and just kind of see what's going on? So that's kind of why, this inconspicuous place that's 20 miles outside of DC at a horse ranch may actually be. There might be some pretty big stuff going on there, to be honest. The fact that you have, this Levi guy that works at Amazon. You've got Randy, seems like a talented guy making this system, integrating this system. What's going on there, Jakey?
I don't know, but they're flying at 1,000 feet AGL under this waiver. So, and that's actually pretty common. These drone tech companies just go find investors or, generally well-off people that have these big private areas. It's the perfect spot to do your kind of secret drone testing. So very common.
It's not so secret though. The FAA puts the Latin law in your waiver.
That's we enjoy that. So
so at Airobotics, they didn't have a location specific in their waiver. At least it did reference a location, but it didn't give coordinates.
Nope.
So that's. It's always nice when the coordinates are thrown out. We've never gone out to a location. But certainly if you're in the DC area and you aren't, I don't know what the stay home orders there are explicitly, but I'm assuming they're probably somewhat strict. But, buzz out into the countryside, see if you see something up at 1,000 feet.
Yeah. Is that a cell tower? No, it's a drone.
No, so it's a drone. And interesting enough, what about the drone? Did you notice that it looked like too?
Man.
That they're...
Yeah. So It definitely looks like an X-Fold aircraft, a company in the San Francisco Bay Area.
Originally designed, the guy built the drone like for himself at first, right?
Yeah,
for cinematography. He wanted a drone.
Yeah, he's kind of just a MacGyver, really, a drone MacGyver. So he's got this like wild 300-pound human lifter thing that he's made. It's kind of just a crazy ideas.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But it looks like his aircraft. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, clearly it can carry weight, and these, whatever radios they're putting on there, they need to have some sort of payload capacity. So yeah, super interesting there. Yeah. So, I mean, that is. Do you have anything else to add? I think that's kind of a short, quick episode. But what else are we missing?
I like it. No, I think
you like it.
Just goes to show you got to do a little detective work sometimes. So that's why we're here. We love this stuff. We love digging in and telling you all about it.
We are the nerds of waivers. I would say that I don't know if anyone else probably reads waivers. Well, you probably read them more than I do. But us combined, I think we probably spend more time reading waivers than the FAA does sometimes.
Wow, that's a bold claim.
That is okay. Yeah.
Well, you might be right though, because we always catch their mistakes, right? Their little typos, and
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
I think we had. I wonder if that one with the lighting that was like 1,000,000 miles, is still out there.
Right. 2 decimal place miles. Yeah. Which didn't make any sense. A decimal of a decimal.
Yeah. But, no, I like it. Yeah. Let's keep her short this week, and
let's put a wrap on that. But thank you guys for tuning in, and feel free to visit the website. We do have night training out there, crew resource management, and certainly if you want to start talking about doing some more advanced operations outside of the standard night ops with people, hit us up. We will definitely like to hear what you're working on and try to help you out as we can.
All right, fly safe, everyone.
Take care.
See you.